Next speaker is Ashley. I've known Ashley for the past two and a half years, I guess. And these are actually both Joe 15 members, by the way. I don't think I said that in the beginning, but Ashley actually started dating one of Joe's best friends, actually Zach. It's on this picture right here. And of course, Zach has always been involved in the Joe 15, so Ashley is actually right here from Manassas Park. Went to middle school and high school here at Manassas Park, and she wants to tell you about her situation.
I'm Ashley. I'm 21 years old. Like Miss Debbie said, I grew up in Manassas Park. This is my backyard. This is my home. I was a really good student. I really enjoyed school. Perfect attendance, honor roll, honor student. I continued that, got into high school. I was doing good my freshman year. I did good through freshman year, started my sophomore year. I met some new friends, started to get higher up on the food chain, and I started to go to parties occasionally, have a drink here and there, but I continued to keep my academics up. I cheerleaded in high school. I was a competitive figure skater. I had everything going for me. The drinking eventually led to smoking marijuana and smoking cigarettes, and I continued to do that my entire 10th grade year. I managed to still keep my grades up. I started my 11th grade year. I was a varsity cheerleader at the high school. We were very well. We did very well that year, champions. After the season ended, that's when I kind of went downhill. I met a boy. I was very, very desperate to be in love. I thought I would meet, my high school sweetheart, have a white picket fence, the whole nine. When I met him, he was into drugs. He was into prescription painkillers, and at the time we were all smoking marijuana, so I was already under the influence, and it kind of, altered my decision making to where I was like, well, I'm already messed up on this, might as well pop a pill. It was readily available every day, day after day after day after day. I just kept taking them. I was taking them and taking them like they were Skittles. It was probably January when I started. By the end of my junior year, I had failed many, many classes, and by that summer, I was a full-blown heroin addict. I barely finished out my senior year of high school. I was lucky to still graduate. I was sick. My health was deteriorating. I was intravenously using heroin by that point every day, every day. After high school, it continued to go downhill. I ended up living up in DC area. I lived in, crack houses is what you want to call them, with very bad people. We would do whatever we could to support our habit. I stole things out of cars. I would break into people's houses. I would go to stores and steal. I would pawn them. It's important to remember pawning doesn't give you what you think you're going to get. You get maybe 10%. If you steal a $100 GPS, you're going to get $10. If I have a $100 a day habit, I have to steal 10 GPSs. So you can see where that's only eventually going to lead to more and more crime, because your addiction and your tolerance to a drug builds and builds and builds, and you only eventually need more and more and more. I stayed out there for a little while, a couple years. I have been clean a year and a half. I sent myself to rehab. I finally got my mind right and, got clean. Rehab cost me $20,000. My parents lost their house. They had a foreclosure and moved. It led to a lot of problems. I spent a little bit of time in jail. I'm very lucky I didn't get caught for what I did. That is the only reason I'm not in jail for the rest of my life. I don't deserve to be here today. I'm lucky I'm alive, let alone alive and not behind bars, because it's not very good, the things that I've done. It's very hard to face it. It's hard to talk about it. But I'm here. I'm honored to be here. I'm honored to speak to you guys and let you know my story. And I hope that you just listening to me kind of gives you an understanding that it can happen. It doesn't matter where you come from. I don't care if you're rich, if you're poor, if you're tall, if you're short, you know, it doesn't matter. It affects everybody. It's out there, it's in the community, and it's very well advertised, I guess you would say. You always see, you know, more popular kids throwing a party, and you want to go to that party, you know. You go to that party, you know, you're the new kid, you know, you haven't really been around the crowd. They offer you a drink. You don't want to, you know, not fit in with them, so you're going to take the drink. You're drinking now, your mind's not right, they offer you a joint, you're going to hit the joint. You see what I'm saying? And that's just going to continue to lead down a very long, dark, lonely road. When I graduated high school, I had no friends left. My entire class pretty much laughed when I walked across the stage. They didn't know who I was. Nobody asked me if I was okay. Nobody came to me and said, you know, I heard this about you. Can I help you at all? Not one person. I really felt deserted by them. It was my own fault. I don't blame anybody for my own addiction. It was my choice to take the drugs, but I really feel like you guys should be educated on what it is and how to approach somebody if you see the signs. Some of the signs to look for is kind of a more dirty look to a person. When you think of a drug addict, you kind of think of a bum living under a bridge. It doesn't necessarily mean that, but you'll kind of notice that they don't, you know, I wouldn't blow dry my hair and put on my nice clothes to come speak to you if I was, you know, so busy worrying about my high. They won't brush their teeth as much. They don't wash their clothes. They don't brush their hair. They just kind of let it all go. Lost my train. You will kind of see them get depressed. They won't talk to you as much. I was very, very outgoing in high school. I was actually voted Miss MPHS as the senior superlative. I stopped talking to everyone, so it's something that you can kind of look out for in your friends, and because you see it, you don't have to, you know, approach them in a rude way. There's a way you can go about it. You don't have to say, like, you know, you look ugly today. It's not very nice. You can just be like, you know, man, I've seen you've been a little down lately. Is there anything I can help you with? Do you want to talk? You know, I'm here if you need me. They're all, you know, it's really good to just have someone know that you're there for them. I think that's really important. There's a lot of programs outside of school. I would say your school counselor is really, really important. They're always there. You know, they're not going to judge you. They're always there. There's a reason we have them. They have a lot of resources as well. The community has a lot. The police station, your police are always your go-to people. They kind of have a bad rep, but they're not. They really want what's best for everyone, especially the younger generation, because you are my future. I think that it's important to know that it's okay to mess up. We all make mistakes. We're human. It's going to happen. You never get too low. There's only 3 ways out of drug addiction. You're going to die, you're going to go to jail, or you are going to be standing where I'm standing. And I would say I'm the lower percentage. Very few people make it out. And if they do, it takes a very long time. It's a very hard struggle. I will face it the rest of my life. I deal with it every day. 21 years old, I don't drink alcohol. I won't drink alcohol. It's something I will not enjoy as an adult, as a legal person that can consume alcohol. I don't enjoy it. I messed that up. It's something, I carry the scars, I carry the hurt. I can still see it in my family's faces. I've affected them, you know, lifelong. They had to go through that with me. It's something, a journey that, you know, I took them along. I affected everyone around me, and I was so lost in my own world that I didn't see that. I would like to say that it takes your soul. It takes everything you have out of you. It takes, you know, it sucks the life out of you, and you turn your will over to your drug. I don't care if it's marijuana or if it's heroin. You don't have to be, you know, shooting up drugs to be a drug addict. Smoking weed every day, you are a drug addict. Alcohol, drinking alcohol. Alcohol is a drug. I don't, you know, it's very advertised. It may be legal for adults, but you are not adults. And even adults make stupid decisions when they're under the influence.
What is weed?
Marijuana. It's a plant that you smoke.
I know tobacco is a plant too.
Yes. I think I covered everything. Like I said, I'm really honored to be here. I really hope that you guys are listening to me. I'm not trying to scare you at all. I'm a reality check. I'm here and I'm telling you it can happen. And it can happen very, very fast. And you know, the people that you think are your friends, like Jeremy said, when the first sign of trouble comes around, they're gone. They don't care. When you do decide to do better for yourself, they kind of, you know, they have a lot of anger and resentment towards you. I have a son now, I'm a mother. There are people that I would not want to meet late night by myself because they have grudges against me for, you know, leaving, you know, their world. And now I raise my son in this community, and that scares me, that there's people out for me. So I just think it's really important to listen, learn, know your resources, know that it's okay if you do mess up. There's always help out there. Help out your fellow classmates. It's really hard as kids to admit that you've made a mistake like that and talk to necessarily your parents or your principals because you feel like they're more authority figures. So I think you guys count on each other a lot, and that's really, really important. And I'm glad that you can see the good side of it, that, you know, it's okay, I made it. I'm over here, I'm on the other side of the fence, I'm doing good again. And that's, I think that's all I have to say. So thank you.